Hi, I'm Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And today we're talking about Saucony Triumph. What number?
19.
Getting up there.
Is it the 19th version of it?
I think it is.
Okay, they do the numbers, right? Some
Yeah,
people
they
don't
do.
that. Okay.
I mean, the Triumph, I may have run like my second ever marathon in a Triumph.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you've run in a lot of versions since then.
Yeah, I have. And as a matter of fact, last year's version was kind of a disappointment for me. And so when it came along to getting seated for this shoe this year, I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, I actually didn't even get last year's version because I think the version I had in, I believe it was like 2017, it was like the Triumph when they had that ISO fit. It still is one of the worst shoes I've ever had. It went immediately to lawn mowing status.
Yeah, Triumph has had a weird history. It's been a really solid shoe back in the day. It was one of those shoes where it had a little more flair back then than the other shoes. Like it came in colors when everything else was white with like a gray and stuff. Like I remember having like a gold pair. So I really had a fond memory of the Triumph, and as it kind of aged and it went through the ISO fit, I feel like it lost somewhat of its character.
Yeah.
And it didn't evolve with the time. So it actually stayed a heavy shoe when it was kind of like, back in the day, it was a fun, fast daily trainer.
Interesting.
That then just didn't kind of evolve with the name.
But here we are.
Here we are.
And this is an easy day shoe, max cushion, and just good for getting a ton of miles in, I guess.
Yeah,
if you want those
it's definitely
comfort
a grinder.
miles. Now, in the max cushion category for Saucony, we also have things like the Endorphin Shift or the Axon, which is a more budget-friendly model. And this is a little bit different, and then it has the PWRRUN Plus midsole, which we'll get into in a little bit.
It's got a softer, cushier ride than, say, like the Shift.
And it doesn't have that rocker geometry that the Shift has.
Yeah, the speed roll, right?
Yeah, it's speed roll.
Yeah, it doesn't have the speed roll. I think where this fell off for me in the previous version was it was super heavy. And Robbie, they've done some updates to it. It's mostly upper, right?
It is mostly upper. So let's get into the upper right now. It's a mono mesh upper, light, fairly breathable. Now in past versions, it was a ton of cushion. Like it felt like your foot was in a side of a pillow inside of a marshmallow.
Luxury vehicle status.
Yeah, very luxe. And now we got some more we got the mono mesh with some more breathable air holes in here. It gives you a little more space.
Streamlined.
More streamlined. And I actually appreciate it a lot. Now I didn't run in last year's version, like I said, but Thomas, you weren't a huge fan of the...
It was what I would call a foot locker or foot dungeon. It was warm.
It was a hurt lock.
It was heavy. The ride was nice on this midsole, but it wasn't something that was special enough. Like mine was like over 12 ounces.
Yeah, and I think you and Megan got it in like August of last year, so you're just smothered.
It was a foot sweater.
I like the upper. I like the more breathable version of it. You got the checkerboard pattern, of course, like every Saucony shoe. It's a little less bold than some of the other versions we've seen out there. Tongue is pretty plush, offers, you know, a nice padding right there. And they have this new lacing system, which they call adaptive fit, I think. I actually didn't feel like I could get an adaptive fit with it. Like I tried.
They can't win. The ISO fit sucked. Now they got the adaptive fit.
And I love the fit of the Endorphin line for sure, but for some reason I just could not get it dialed in. I tried like multiple variations. My foot fell asleep the first time, then I like tried to loosen it up, and then it felt like my foot was moving around. It's just like I could not get
Princess
it.
and the Pea over here. Yeah. The nice thing though, Robbie, I'm feeling it. Gusseted tongue.
Yeah, I mean,
that's got to help with the fit a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I felt there was just a little bit of room up here for me. I don't know. It just on the run, and I didn't love it.
It wasn't locked in for you.
But that's,
you know, that's a sacrifice you got to make when you don't have a buffy upper. It's not always gonna hold and have the structure that maybe that's where some of the weight came off, because they're saying it lost over an ounce.
Yeah, they are saying that, which blew my mind, because like you said, this is always known as like a heavy shoe, so losing an ounce off it was kind of a big deal, especially since they said no changes were made to the midsole or outsole.
Robbie, I mean, when we look at shoes that are in that 11 ounce area that I really like that have great cushioning and style, like this puts this in the same weight class as the Adidas Ultra Boost 21, puts it in the same weight class as the New Balance More 3, which I think is probably the best overall cushioned trainer this year that we've had, max cushion trainer.
Yeah, it does have a pretty decent rubber coverage here with like a significant amount of rubber. So you're gonna get good use out of it for sure. All things said, this does come in at 10.2 ounces for like a men's size 9. I believe my men's 7.5 was like a 9.6 ounces.
And what are they saying for a size 9?
For size 9, 10.2 ounces, 290 grams, which is reasonable. That's like in the peg range, so.
Is it though?
It is, yeah.
Because I feel like you're already getting up, by the time you get into my side, the Pegasus for me is 10.45 ounces. And this one, if you got it up into size 10.5, you're adding probably another ounce to the shoe. So it's gonna be in the 11s.
I mean, I will say I did notice that it felt a lot lighter than past versions or heavier shoes that drive me crazy. So like on the run, it felt like it had a pretty good, like if you wanted to pick it up, you could pick it up, which I never felt like I could do with the previous versions of the Triumph or some heavier shoes. So I do think that PWRRUN Plus midsole provides a nice energy return and kind of pop if you want to get that going. Obviously you're not going to want to use it for a tempo shoe, but if you really want to start moving a little bit more, you can do that.
Other things to notice is you've got some reflective details here on the back and on the toe, so that's great for a daily trainer. Not so much in the summer because we're pretty much in the light all the time, but you know, you're gonna be getting into the fall at some point, and having that little bit of extra visibility is gonna be helpful. I do think just from touch and feel, the upper feels a lot more streamlined than the original. This cushioning, I know it's good, but is it that much lighter than Ultra Boost for a similar feel?
I mean, I felt like it was, but
okay.
I did feel like it was relatively light. It felt like a normal shoe instead of a heavier clunker.
So where does this fall in for like daily trainer? So like I know you love running in the endorphin speed, and this is gonna be a lot heavier than the speed.
I love lightweight daily trainers, so I could run in the speed or Skechers, Razor XS, things like that, like all the time. I did feel like after a long run that I did this weekend that this shoe saved my legs. Like a lot of energy. Like the next day it felt pretty great.
I'm gonna throw another monkey wrench in it. I think sometimes training in heavier shoes helps your lightweight trainers feel faster when it's time to pick up the pace.
For sure. It's like when you
hill work
or swinging
donuts
when you're doing batting practice, just putting donuts on your bat. Not the Jarrett kind.
Yeah, those don't help you get faster. Actually, Jarrett's running pretty fast eating all those donuts.
I know. I guess it works.
Yeah.
It's all that sugar. Overall, pretty good shoe. I'm still don't know if like that's what I'm going for, if I'm reaching for an easy day or just daily trainer.
And the price is a little bit steeper too, right?
It is. It's $150 for this. By the way, it comes out July 15th. Of course, that's tentative, like everything these days. I mean, the Pegasus is 120 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those gems that we love, stays in that range. So
yeah, and you can check out our daily trainer roundup. Just watch that video if you want some other ideas of where things are falling for daily trainer. And I would put this in the daily trainer category. I don't know that it would crack into the list that we made.
I don't think so. And I think before it would be like an easy day max cushion shoe. And I don't know that it's like the New Balance More V3 in that range.
It floats right between your daily trainer and your max cushion shoe. And it's in that kind of no man's land where it's like, okay, you're not getting the comfort and the softness for long miles up here, and you're not getting the lightweight, faster moves that you can use this for just about anything.
Yeah.
So it falls into a weird spot.
It is a little bit weird. And by the way, the stack on this is 32.5 in the heel and 24.5 in the front for an 8mm drop, in case you're wondering. So people that like that a little bit lower than 10mm, you might enjoy that. Now, if you did like past versions of the Triumph, you'll probably like this shoe a lot because it lost an ounce, and it's otherwise almost the exact same thing, especially as last year's version.
So Robbie, is the Triumph a triumph?
I'd say it's a narrow victory.
Small victory. They've won a war.
Yeah,
they won a battle.
A skirmish.
Yeah,
I would say it's a skirmish. Yeah, I think it's a solid shoe. I don't know that I'm going to be going for it anymore going forward. And now I would compare this maybe to like the Brooks Ghost or...
and there's people that love the Ghost.
Yeah.
And there's people that love the Triumph. And I do think for those people, this shoe is going to work. I agree with Robbie that when you look at your shoe wall and you have options, and we have options from testing the shoes, and when we're done testing the shoe and we go back and I'm like, okay, we're in a little bit of lull, what shoe am I gonna pick out to run in? Is this gonna be one of those ones?
No. Again,
honest reviews, people.
Again, I like lightweight daily trainers, so it might just depend on what you love. I will say, I think I like this better than the Shift.
Oh,
maybe for like a more cushion ride, like a
it
easy
is,
day ride.
It's more familiar and it's daily trainer-ish.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Shift is just a little bit weird for me. This is more of like a normal shoe.
All right, so that pretty much wraps up the Triumph, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say. Sorry if this wasn't a crazy, like, exciting review.
All right.
Wait, hey, but if you want a crazy, exciting review, go to our endorphin line. We got full Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights going on with that.
Or you check out the Brooks Aurora video and some of the videos we got coming up soon. So exciting stuff. Hopefully you tuned in. Hopefully you checked out Grit, which is going on right now, which is our summer distance program. Kicks off in July. You need to register now. You can go to believeintherun.com/grit to do that. You know, it helps us out, and it also helps out the Donna Foundation, where we raise money for breast cancer. So check that out. If you're in a good mood, you know, you don't pay us for these videos. You get to watch them. How you could pay us is hitting that subscribe button.
Is that how it works?
That's how I want to get paid. I want to get paid in subscriptions.
Subscribe it, like it, and
turn the bell on so that you see alerts when we have new videos.
Ask us some questions. We try to answer as many as we can. Sorry if we don't get to all of them.
Yeah, and check it out. We're doing fun stuff all the time on Instagram. Here on this YouTube channel, we're going to be expanding some of our content here. Check us out on the Drop podcast, as well as the Fuel for the Soul podcast. We're everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, really everywhere these days. All right, so that wraps this one up. Boom.
All right.
Hey, Robbie, did you say hi to your mom?
Hi, Mom. How do we even sleep?
We don't.
We're
We don't.
vampires.
Yeah.
Wait, do vampires sleep?
Well, I guess during the day.
So we're not vampires.
We're like half vampire.
We're just more meth heads.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
There we go. We're not sponsors,
Yeah.
but yeah.